If your listing has expired, here are 7 things that every seller should do in order to go ahead and get more control over their sale. First thing you want to do is just look at your motivation. Has the reason to sell changed, for example? I ask because buyers today are so knowledgeable. They have so much data in front of them. They've seen hundreds of homes online before they came across yours. So, as they look at these different home options, if they sense that a particular seller is not motivated to sell, well, naturally, they're going to go ahead and write offers on a home who they get the impression the seller is motivated to sell. So, if you do relist, obviously do everything in your power to go ahead and make it work the second time around. The second thing you really should be looking at is pricing. Obviously, it's the number one reason that homes do go expired, but it's an easy fix. I mean, you'll want to get a new comparative market analysis. I use the Smart CMA that looks at like 30 different factors, oddly including motivation, for example, in order to go ahead and determine fair market value. And in this case, fair market value would be the amount that a home is expected to sell at. Knowing that, then you can take a look at the list price as a ratio to the sales price. And here locally, if a property has been prepped, priced, and marketing correctly, it's going to sell for right at 100. That ratio is 100. In other words, the list price is right there at the sales price. That's why it's so important to get that CMA done correctly. Also remember, the buyers buy according to what we call the economic principle of substitution. So the maximum your house is going to sell for is going to be the cost of an equal alternative or an alternative home that has the same design and amenities. So another way of looking at it is if there's 4 homes on the market and all 4 are very, very similar in the same neighborhood, and 3 of them have real consistent comps and listing prices, but this one is quite a bit higher, but you don't know why. The buyers just don't know why. Well, this particular home is going to help these 3 sell faster. So you don't want to be this home, is what I'm saying. And that ratio that I'm asking about between the sales price as a percentage to list price will help you make that determination. The next thing would be just to review your marketing. And there's a lot to this, as you can imagine. Our area MLS allows us to go ahead and enter into the retail remarks 2,500 characters. Not 2,500 words, characters, just individual characters. So we need to be smart with our verbiage and get the most value into that small amount of real estate, no pun intended, but utilize all of it. So when I see an agent, maybe advertising, putting in retail remarks that's quite a bit less than 2,500 characters, that left unsaid information is a travesty. So use the whole 2,500 characters. Next would be in our local MLS, we're allowed 75 pictures. And I'm telling you, there's always 75 pictures worth of content. Even if you're going to take a picture of a local park or a local attraction to order to supplement to build value, well, then go that route. But you got to give the people something to look at. Beyond that, captions under every one of those 75 pictures is what Home Again does. It's a lot of extra work, but the optimization for people that are putting particular features in their searches, it causes a lot more matches, and so a lot more people from out of the area, especially, are seeing your listing if it's has all these captions, these written captions underneath all the 75. Works like a charm. I don't know why more people don't do it. Also, the thing to do is to lower the buyer's doubt, especially in a multi-offer counteroffer. If a buyer has had doubt removed, they're more inclined to have a higher counter in a multi-offer counteroffer. And you can do that by actually providing your inspection reports up front when you list the property. So if you provide your pest inspection, or if you provide a home inspection, that cautious buyer is more willing to go ahead and bid your home up, especially in a multi-offer counteroffer. So I use inspection reports to build value and reduce doubt. Moving on, and these are just essential. This is no question. Virtual tours and drone photography. It's the 21st century, folks, and we really need to have a very, very high quality content, and there's no excuse if it's just not there. It needs to be there. The next one would be number 4. And if selling your home is important to you, and obviously it is, you're watching this video, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and take a look at your competitors' homes, not online. I'm saying let's go look at those homes. What do they have? Why are these homes selling? And we're, either expired or going back on the market. We may find that we maybe need to do one of two things: maybe do a few improvements, or in the absence of doing those improvements, in order to be parity with our competition, we might need to consider lowering our price in order to find us in escrow. But going out there and taking a look at your competition could be the best use of your time right now. Number five, look at the feedback that was given to you by your previous agent. All those tours, all the follow up calls that they made. There's information, there's content there. If there is essentially, a common thread or some sort of a validity, or a consistent bringing up a particular aspect, that we can fix, we need to fix it. We really do need to fix it. As long as it's within reason, I would highly recommend that we fix it. Looking at the next one would be number six, and that would be, expect expired agents to call. If you don't want to get called by expired agents after your home, goes from active to expired, talk to your agent and ask them to remove your content from the MLS, because typically, especially when setting up showings, you may have your name and your telephone number there, and that is out there forever for an expired listing agent to go ahead and use and follow up. Um, just a tip right there. But they're going to call once it goes expired if they have your contact information, and it's not a bad thing. Expired listing agents are a very niche breed. They're not interested in just the listing. They're actually more interested in getting it sold. So you got that in common with them. They also have the experience to see typically what didn't work last time. So having a conversation with an expired agent, for example, me, obviously I'm on that short list. Is a step in the right direction in order to fix what happened, so we don't have that happen again, but rather we're going to go into escrow. We're going to close escrow this time around. And the issue here is just making the difference. How do we go ahead and recreate the energy after an expired listing that typically has been on the market for quite some time? What I do, and this would be the seventh thing that we should be doing, is I adjust the commission so that the buyer side has higher commission, higher earnings than the listing side. Now, it makes no difference to you. So, for example, if you had a 5% listing commission last time and the listing broker was responsible to go ahead and pay the buyer's broker, which is very, very standard in our area. So if it was 5%, of which you got 2.5 and 2.5, I would suggest when you relist with the listing agent that would be willing to go ahead and take 2% in order to provide 3% for that buyer's agent. That will get those buyer's agents bringing their buyers back in to a listing. I don't care how long on the market it's been. But when you look at the previous six plus the seventh, which is going to benefit that buyer's agent to go ahead and get their buyers to focus just on your listing, keep it in escrow, keep it going towards closing. The increase in the compensation, I can't help but think it's not a bad idea. I do it as a matter of policy with my expired listing program. So at the end of the day, like I said, it shouldn't matter to you. It's the same 5%. And ultimately, you're the one that benefits because your home gets sold. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and remind you of 7 things we really should be talking about next time around. My name is Corey Mason. Thanks for the time.